It was in part two. It was an exam. Part two, biochemistry second course. Is it second course or first course? I can't remember. We prepared for the exam, of course. And when it was CBT, we did 90 questions in 30 minutes. I did not expect that. Like when we came out of the exam hall, like nobody was smiling. Like I was literally having goosebumps on my body. I've never experienced. I'm being for real. Goosebumps on my body. Like I was shaking. That that day, I went to the HOD and complained that why would you do this? She said she did it on purpose. That actually I thought I was going to like I thought I was going to fail because the exam was not like the questions were tough. They were tough, of course, but like if you have had more time, like at some point, I was seeing like 4 minutes remaining. I was still in like question 30 something out of 90. I could not read the question twice. You read half like this, next, half, next, half, next. I thought I was the only one. Everybody in the class was like, Kiniko, Kiniko. I didn't even write letter to HOD. I went to her myself that HOD, I want to see him. Why is this? And she was like, she didn't want people to talk. Next time, that has been the scariest exam I've ever written so far. That's
You know, that was a mixture of God abeg, wetin be this plus adrenaline. Like you do something you never knew you could have done before. This happened, right? Abi now, so let's have another person. A round of applause for her, please.
Okay, for me, I would say I have two weird experiences now on campus. The first one was when I was in part one now, and we had one sociology course that I had to work on, and we had to work on in our faculty now, and we had to stay under the sun for 5 hours. It was very painful. Like two people fainted, different people. I when I entered the hall, my hand was like literally shaking because it was a CBT exam. So I was just I could not even review my questions. It was very, very terrible. And the second one, that means experience reminded me of part two. It was also a sociology course and they gave us 80 question, 20 minutes, and I was like, what is this? What the okay, what's this now? And I we thank God. God was faithful and it was very, very terrible. I would not lie, but we thank God.
I sympathize with you. These are very, very deeply weird experience. Do you agree with my brother? Do you agree with me that it was a deeply weird? How will somebody be writing? I mean now, how will someone be writing doing 80 questions in 20? That's serious. That's very serious. Somebody while she was somebody else had an inspiration. So let's hear him talk. Era for him, please.
Good morning, everyone. One of my bad experience I had on this campus where I went for one exam, sociology exam. That was part two. Oh my God! Out of tension, I didn't remember to submit my exam. I got to my hostel. I was like, "Ah, God help me!" And the lecturer called me that how far we couldn't see your this thing. I was like, oh my God. The next thing I could remember is like I should call on God. God, come and intervene. I went to church. We finished one prayer in prayer unit. I talked to my prayer coordinator, sir. Otidele. I could remember I prayed fervently. But one thing that happened is like I was like, God, I want you to trouble all this department because of me. I know I didn't submit this exam, but I want this exact result. They were saying that they saw 2-0 like this. I was like, God, what I want is 80 on dot. And to God be the glory. I was like, the lecturer chased me out of the office. What are you looking for? You didn't submit this thing. I was like, okay, I know I'm nobody, but I know somebody that can turn nobody to somebody in the midst of in the midst of everybody to become somebody. So I went back and they called me. All of a sudden, I was going to for one class at this I just said. and I was one of our presidents in faculty just called me, hello, sir, your attention is needed by the lecturer. I was like, no problem. So they just printed a lot of questions for me. What's going on? I was sweating profusely. I wanted to cry. I was like, Holy Spirit, help me. To God be the glory. I think 3 days later, they released the exam result. And I saw exactly what I declared. I saw 80% on that.
Plus, you see, this brother is, please avoid this brother. He's a very dangerous. Hey, so that tells me, even in the midst of everything that we do, because God is very important. And yes, that was why we started with God, right? God in the midst of everything. Amen and amen. So very quickly,
Okay, so the experiences that everybody was talking about, don't worry, I experienced it. I was there. Sociology department, they need prayers, serious prayers. While we continue, we want to introduce the presence of our guest speakers that are already seated. Can we
a round.
clap? Please, let's clap. So I want to introduce Mr. Oyelaro Convenant. And I also want to introduce Dr. Folarin. You are welcome. Thank you so much for being here. You're welcome, sirs. Thank you very much for welcoming them. So we are still proceeding, and I believe we still want to hear one more person talk about their experience, or we are moving on.
We have there are many weird experience. Don't just tell us about your results and your exam. Tell us other. Go deep. Take it deep, right? Sir, they can take it deeper, right? They should. Yes. So you go deeper and take us into the other realms. So let's have a round of applause for it.
Well, my own was not really a weird experience. I could just say I was being petty at that time. So it was in part two. We had an exam period 2 3. The exam was very, very. It was not weird. Sha. I was the one doing the whole thing. Don't worry. So after the exam, sha, everybody was tired. The exam was like very draining. That was how the lecturer's child came and started making noise, and I knocked the child.
Speechless. No, just speechless.
I have no words. If I say I have words for you, hope it was not your core course. How many units was that course? So you know that you are knocking all the units into the. That's very serious. So I think we're going to have. We had other people working. I think they deserve also a round of applause. A round of applause for yourselves. I mean, finding yourself. I mean, bringing yourself to come to an event like this. It's a lot. It shows a lot about your character. Look, even while I'm standing here, now take a look at this brother in front of me. Look at the way he's looking at me. Look at his hand. It's so serious. Now, follow me, follow me. And now look at our man of God over there. You see the postures, like you see different people are angry. They want to change the status quo, right? So a round of applause for yourselves again. Thank you for coming. So what we were doing while you walked in was that we were taking, like, we agreed that all work and no play makes Jack a what? My co-moderator. All work and no play makes Jack a what? A dull boy. A dull boy. So, and we know that all of us are not dull. So there's something we are doing, an activity. We listen, we don't judge. So what's the details of the activity?
So you have to tell us your weirdest experience on campus. By the way, just because I said we listen, we don't judge, we can judge you. We can judge.
Like that brother.
We just judge small. Judge small. But it's like people are not digging deep into that weirdest experience.
He just
The-
did.
As yes, him. One of the weirdest experience I've had on campus is not knowing your left from your right. I'm a Patrick student, too, but you can tell me that where is so 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 and so place, and I will tell you that I don't know where it is. Somebody came to me to ask that where is Faculty of Education. My people, do you know where I was standing? I was standing in front of Faculty of Education, and I said, "I'm so sorry, I do not know where it is." Only for me to turn, I was like, "Oh wait, sorry, just pass here, then you will get to the place." So there are some times that different things are just happening on campus, and you just like maybe this is not an experience enough. They are still experiences for you. And dig deep now because we still have to ask that question again. What is your weirdest experience on this campus? On this campus that we are, in fact, we can say every day is even weird itself because of this CNG drama. That's another thing. All this drama of going to class, and imagine them telling me to resume on Wednesday and lecturer called for class. And 30 minutes to the end of the class, lecturer said, sorry, our car broke down and she cannot come again. I was like, sorry, ma, your car broke down when exactly? As in, just now? Can you please just allow us to be free on this campus? So every day is weird, but want to know that peculiar day that you remember, the weirdest
So we'll
experiences.
have the opportunity to hear one premium weird experience. Do you know what premium weird experience is? I can see someone raising our hands. But just before we take it, um I want us to first hear one premium weird experience coming from right behind. You can see where I'm gravitating towards, right? Because force of the value of get is pulling me serious. So I have to. So let's hear a round of applause.
All right. Good morning, everyone. So my weirdest experience, the one I can think of right now, would be when I was in part two. So I could relate to what Dami was saying. So part two is like when you transition from just doing general science courses to your medical courses. So we wrote a theory exam, anatomy. So seniors had told us these are the common questions. I mean, everybody had prepared. So so we got into the example. The questions were divided into short answer and long answer. So the short answer were like maybe like let's say like 6 questions, and the long answer maybe like 5. And I looked at the paper, and it was only 2 questions. I knew I could answer straight off from my head. I was like, ah. And this is a theory exam. It's not OBJ that I can just shade anything. I looked around. I was looking at my colleagues. It seemed as if everybody was serious. It seemed as if everybody was writing something. Until after the exam that I knew that it's like every one of us were in the same condition. But however, we did the exam, and by the grace of God, we still did well. Yorubas will say, "Kò lè tán lára ọmọọba kó má kú dànsákì." So we wrote something. Even the long answers, I only had short answers for the long answer questions. But at the end of the day, it went well. So that was my weirdest experience on campus.
So I my condolences to all the medical students right now, but I feel your pain. I really feel your pain. It's okay. You'll be fine. A round of applause once again for our speaker. So let's hear from one more person and then we move on.
Okay, for me, it was on this particular day, I was at Sport Complex and I was walking. My friend, my roommate from work, she was coming. I already sighted her from afar, but the moment I got close to her, I was like, she's not the one at all. So, and I passed and I called her that, hello, I saw you. I saw someone that looked like a Sports Complex. She was like, she's the one. I was like,
All I can say is my God. Eh? A round of applause for her. See, let me share my own. Do you want to hear my own? I will not say it. Should I say it or I should not say it? You are saying say it. If you don't motivate me, I will not say it. Just move. Should I say it or I should not say it? Hmm. So one day, one faithful day, hmm, it was a very serious day. I was a fresher on OAU campus. And so I was going to cross the road at around that SUP side towards the library. And I did not know how the cars move. So I was just seeing car going like this, one come like this, one going like this. And I was crossing at the intersection itself. So I didn't know what to do. So at that moment, the road was free. Let me quickly be going in. That's how, you know, I just saw one car coming like this. So in my head, will the car go like this or will it go like this? So I wanted to go forward. I wanted to go backward, but I did not know what. So I just stayed there. So I just stayed there, and the driver was so angry. He was so angry with me that he stretched his hand out of the car. He wanted to slap me. He said, "Udio, Udio," and he wanted to slap me. Ever since that day, I made up my mind that I will not cross this road again. Ever again. That was the last time I crossed until I finally understood the system. A round of applause. Clap for me. Oh. So these are the issues. So let's next section on our agenda today, because today is going to be loaded. Say to your neighbor, today is going to be loaded. Is today going to be loaded?
Very loaded.
How many things? Tell them how many things we have. Tell them.
Should I start telling them now? I feel like we should allow it to take first. Just allow them to like see it. Should not
For the
hear
new
now.
people that just came, we want to welcome you. A round of applause for them. So,
Okay.
okay.
So right now we just want to do something quickly. More of an interlude. More of an interlude. But I know some of us will be too shy to do it. Let's test it out. Look at the person beside you. Didn't I say? Some people are literally not raising their head. I mean, look at the person beside
Some
you.
people are
I
too.
can see my brother there looking at me. I'm not the person beside you. Look at the person beside you. Look at the person very well. Very well, oh.
Smile now.
Oh, yeah, tell the person, can I meet you? Talk to the person. What's for their name? You don't even know the person that you are sitting beside. I can see some people are not
I can
talking.
see I can see somebody in front of me like this.
Should I start calling names? Thank God I know some of us here. I will just start calling our name from here. Look at the person beside you. This is what we call networking. Ask for their names, ask for what they do, ask for their number, talk to them, with them. Some of us are not doing anything. I can cite us. If you don't have a partner sitting beside you, I beg, stand up.
If you
Stand
don't
up, walk around, network.
have a partner, you come and network with me. Oh. You come and know me more.
The way I'm seeing silence on some sides, do you want me to come and network with you? I will come. Oh. I will come.
Right. Well, thank you very much. For those of us that don't know what networking is about, well, networking is very, very crucial for you to grow, right, as a person. Let's some people are already engrossed, that's the beauty of it. Like, if you look towards my left now, you can see the beauty of networking. Am I right? And if you look towards where I'm pointing now, you can also see the beauty of networking, right? Look towards where my hand is pointing. Can you see what I'm talking about? Eh. So now, networking is very important to help you expand and reach reach other people, get value from other people, opportunities. It's very, very helpful, really. And so we'll be moving to the next thing on our agenda. We would have another session, especially where we get to network. So we'll just prepare your mind on what to do. All right. Can you hear me? Are you still with me? If you are with me, say, I am with you. Hey, you are not with me. Oh. If you are with me, say, I am with you. All right. So, very importantly, what you do when you're networking, you get to know the other person's name, you get to know what they do, you get to know what they are currently interested in, and then for yourself, you consider areas where your interests might overlap, and you consider what value you can offer to them as well. Well, you never can tell. Maybe your next business partner sitting right beside you, right? You never can tell whether the person that will finance your business, they know the right hand for head, though. They the right hand for head. Eh? Maybe the person that will give you 1 million for your business now is sitting right beside you. You don't know. So when you're networking, use those small, small tips that I've given you. All right. So we'll be moving to the next thing on our agenda. And very, very quickly, we're getting to the meat of the matter.
So before we move to the next thing on our agenda, please, I want to make a quick, very, 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 very quick announcement. Please, those of us sitting on the blue chairs here, can we move to this side? Those of us sitting on the blue chairs, thank you so much. Apologies for the inconvenience. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Can we just move to these two sides? Yes, thank you very, very much. Thank you so much.
You see, everything that we do in this place is so that you can get maximum value out of today's meeting, right? Out of this event, you are going to get maximum value. And so, trust us that this is going to be for the best, right? So, we're getting to the meat of the matter. So, I want to give us like 1 minute to settle down, proceed. So, can you give yourselves a round of applause? A round of applause. Is this the way you celebrate yourself? So, we're getting to the meat of the matter right now. And what does that mean? That means we're getting to the point where we really want to get what we came here for. And so, we'll be bringing up one of our amazing speakers, our very first. I thought you would join me with a round of applause. So we're bringing up our very first speaker for today. It's like what's it called? You're wetting the ground. You're wetting the ground. You're making preparations. So for us to bring up our first speaker, I would like to call on Ms. God's Glory to read the citation for our first speaker before we have our first speaker. A round of applause for her.
Good morning, everybody. It's good to have us here, and I trust that everything that we'll be doing here will gain something important. So I would love us to pay rapt attention as I read the citation of Covenant Oilaron. So please, I would love you to rise to your feet, sir. Covenant Oilaron is a young, dynamic leader driven by a strong passion for leadership, transformational impact, and purposeful influence. His work cuts across spiritual development, brand identity design, product design, digital media, tutoring, and personal development. He is deeply committed to helping individuals and organizations communicate visions, build values, and create meaningful impact. Covenant runs a printing brand and actively works as a content creator, video editor, brand identity designer, and professional voiceover assistant. Over the years, he has developed voice over projects for churches, businesses, brands, and organizations, including jingles, promotional voiceovers, and advertising content designs to inform, engage, and influence audiences. His experience across designs, media, storytelling, and communication has strengthened his ability to build brands, promote ideas, communicate visions clearly, and create meaningful visibility for individuals, businesses, and organizations. Covenant is from Oyo State, Payseta State, and is a graduate of Obafemi Awolowo University, where he completed his studies with an excellent academic record. His achievements are this: through hard work, discipline, consistency, and a strong commitment to service, Covenant has contributed meaningfully to personal development, youth empowerment, creative innovation, and social impact. He received a certification award for Best Youth Skill in a writing contest organized by Athena, reflecting his commitment to excellence, creativity, and intellectual growth. He has supported several social impact movements and aware campaigns, including Paddy Girl, Feed One, Because Someone Cares, and other initiatives focused on community development, compassion, and positive societal influence. In the creative space, Covenant has served as lead graphic designer for DLC of OAU 2023, creative director at Prestige Alpha Media, and group design led for Inside OAU. This role strengthened his leadership capacity, creative direction, teamwork, and ability to manage visual communications across different platforms. He also successfully handled large-scale JOTA production projects across several universities in southwest Nigeria, including the University of Ibadan, Osun State University, Obafemi Awolowo University, Federal University Oye Ekiti, Ekiti State University, and others, producing close to 2,000 copies in total. This project reflects his capacity for organization, product management, client delivery, and creative entrepreneurship. He is also actively a member of the Purpose Titans and Deluxe Travels, where he is choosing to the face of the brand for the week. He is actively participating from the joining meetings to engaging posts and contributing to the progress of the groups. While he was a student, Covenant served actively in the fellowship for close to 5 years across different units. He served as the lead tutor for the art department, where he saw 3 courses simultaneously. He also served in the media and maintenance units as head of department before eventually becoming the overall student leader of a fellowship with a capacity for about 7 to 1,000 students. His administration was centered on winning, building, and transforming lives. Through leadership, he contributed to leadership, mentorship, and spiritual guidance. He contributed to raising individuals who are prepared to step into larger campus community with excellence, purpose, and strong values. Covenant remains passionate about continuous growth, strategic thinking, teamwork, and value creation. He is a multidimensional individual who brings creativity, leadership, discipline, and vision into every organization, every team, community he belongs to. What's its fun fact? Covenant loves to see people born with passion for God. He's passionate about grooming people for excellence, greatness, and purpose. He loves to hear and to be heard, stand firmly for what is right, and is known to be lively, simple, calm, and easygoing. One of his favorite quotes: "When the purpose of a thing is not known, the habit of it is inevitable. You are just as spiritual as you want to be." And his social media account where you can connect him. On his LinkedIn, you have Covenant Oyelaro. On Instagram, you have at Barikov. And on Facebook, you have Barikov. With a standing ovation and with a round of applause, I would love you to welcome Covenant Oyelaro to the podium.
Thank you so much. You can have your seat. Um, I want to thank everybody that has made today a big success. I want to thank the lady, the sister who just read my citation. Thank you. God bless you. You can please clap for her. She did well. She did very well. And she has proven that eloquence is not a thing of stress. And for that, please, can you give her a round of applause again? I also want to thank my fellow speakers, Dr. Folari, I greet you, and others that are on the way. I want to also thank everybody that has sat down one way or the other to bring this to a reality. And if you just will pay rapt attention, I can assure you that you are going to be blessed. The word blessed doesn't necessarily mean that God comes to give you something. Meanwhile, it's also a believer's gathering. So you will be blessed. Do you believe that? Before I start, I want to tell us a few stories. Number one, I remember a book titled Making It Big. Who wrote the book? Who wrote the book? Jeez. Avid readers. Who wrote the book? Femi Otedola. And when reading that book, there was something I stumbled upon. And that's the story of an individual. This man, he was opportuned to have a deal with Femi Otedola. And when Femi Otedola called him to his house just to strike a deal, while he was coming, the man saw him from outside and saw him coming with a very less expected vehicle. And when he entered, the man coming had already plotted, already sat down, made calculations of about like 5 million naira for the contract to be for them to agree on the contract, around 5 million naira. But when he entered and he sat down discussing with Femi Otedola beat his price down to around like 1.5 million, and he still agreed. And they struck the deal. He stood up and he was going. And Femi Otedola called him back. I said, "Do you know why I priced you down?" He said, "No." He said, "It's because of how you represented yourself." And he said, "How?" He said, "I saw the car you brought. I saw the way you dressed. And then I knew that you were going to be hungry for this opportunity." So he came looking at him as an hungry man for an opportunity. Why? Because the man knows the business, but the man doesn't understand the brand of the business. And so because of that, the personality failed the brand, and the brand became a cheap one. And so Femi Otedola priced him down. And he told him that next time you want to show up, you show up making yourself look like what you want to win. Tell your neighbor, make yourself look like what you want to win. On the strength of that, why did I tell you that story? I'm going to tell you another one. I sat with somebody. You would not even know that they look like who he was. A man said, if you get into a room and you see everybody suited up and you see a single man wearing a very plain t-shirt, said it's better you respect that person. So I met this person and I sat down and I discussed with him. He came for spiritual matters. So I drifted and then I realized that he was sitting on a 20 million naira deal that he had built from the scratch, and it was just as simple as you can think. You would never have imagined that that same person can be handling such an amount. And so because I understood that, I did not treat him in a way where he wouldn't have exposed himself so much to me. Why am I saying all I'm saying? It's because of what I want to talk about, and that is personal branding and mindset development. And so wherever I am, I always tell myself, if I'm not going to stretch myself and stretch my mind, then I don't start that thing. Because if I'm going to start, I must kill it to the brim. And that is what you are going to get today. If you are going to do anything today, starting from henceforth, maybe you've laid your hands on something or you want to lay your hands on something, you must do it to the brim. You must put full energy and make results that makes people never ignore you. Now, to bring perspective to what I'm saying, what is personal branding? Personal branding is the intentional process of shaping how people perceive your identity. how people perceive your values, your expertise, your voice, and your impact. That is what personal branding is. Personal branding is not about colors. It's not about you don't need to start a name first before you think you have a brand. As you're standing and you're looking at me, you are a brand. And if you look at the things I've talked about that are found inclusive in branding, you will realize that every day you live, you must always look at these things to act and to behave. The funniest thing is that seated here are people who tomorrow and even can wake up from this place and go and do big and can carry. We want to make some of us live here provoked and leave us painted with the desire to become big by all means. This is the world where we can diversify a lot. Maybe your environment is influencing your mind. I want to preach it to you. Leave that environment. Because your mind can never do beyond what it can take. And your personality can never go beyond what your mind